my great-grandmother came here from Ireland, and when she came here, she worked as an immigrant, like all of us. All of our forefathers and foremothers came here. And when she came here, she worked as a housekeeper in Nantucket. And what she did was she was working for about a year for this woman, and she would find coins every time that she worked. She'd find coins under the radiators and under the furniture, and for almost a year it went on and on and on. And finally she went to the woman and she said, ma'am, I just want to let you know I'm finding coins everywhere I go in this house, and it's been happening for about a year and a half. And she said, from now on I'm going to keep them when I find them. And from that point on, she never found another coin. And I'd like to just say that because when we're talking about immigration, we're talking about people that are coming to this country. I try to remember my roots as an Irishman, my roots from my great-grandparents that came here and worked when they were 12 years old and came here under discriminatory practices, and no Irish need not apply. And I try to bring that with me in everything I do, to treat people fairly, no matter where they're from, no matter who they are. I thank you very much. Happy St. Paddy's Day to everyone. Thank you.
And now, of course, it's my honor to introduce somebody I first met in 1969. It was at an anti-war forum in Dedham High School, I believe. Congressman Jim Burke was there, a couple of other elected officials, and a person who has always had the courage to speak with that which is on his mind. A person who has always gone to bat for those of us here in the Commonwealth. And as my wife said today, he may well be the most powerful junior senator. I think he's more powerful than most senior senators in Washington, D.C. Our Senator, John Kerry.
Thank you so much. I come to you once again, the way I always come before you, not as president. You know, I got to tell you, I look out at this crowd tonight. I was thinking, Troy is here. I was looking around the room, and I see a crowd that is about 95% white, a little bit belligerent, a little angry that you paid so much for so little, and I said to myself, this is just like the Mitt Romney crowd. I got up to go to the restroom earlier, and within a few moments, Bobby Creedon took my seat. And I came back, I said, well, let that be a lesson to me. It underscores the reality we've all learned, that as Larry Craig said, the men's room can be a dangerous place, ladies. Now, when Bobby Joy called me about coming here tonight, he said that the Plymouth County Democratic League Executive Board said they wanted the evening's last speaker to be a man who came this close to the presidency, who would have been a great president but for somehow events had turned out other than they wanted to, and we wound up with President Bush. Unfortunately, Michael Dukakis was not available tonight. So I said, that's okay. I don't mind being second choice to Michael Dukakis. After all, I was Lieutenant Governor to Michael. It's okay, I'll take that. And he interrupted me, you know, and he said, well, we did want someone who'd run for president. We did want someone who stayed active on the national scene. We certainly wanted someone who continued to fight things. And before I started to say, great, that's terrific. He said, but Ted Kennedy wasn't available. And I said, well, I understand. Teddy's a great man. He's my colleague. He's been my colleague for a lot of years. And Bob said, well, actually, we wanted Patrick Kennedy to come, but Saturday's a big bowling night in Rhode Island. So I said, well, okay, that's all right. Third spot's okay. Bronze medal, I can handle that. I'll deal with that. To which he said, well, technically you weren't third, but you know, Governor Patrick has a cold. At which point I figured it out. I understood that Bob was calling me to get Maria Shriver's telephone number so she could come here. Somehow, after all of that, we worked it out, and obviously here I am. And I must tell you, I almost didn't wind up being lucky enough to be here because, as some of you may have heard the other day, I was over in Afghanistan visiting with the troops and with the leaders trying to figure out what's happening there. And as some of you heard, we had a little trouble with our helicopter and had to make an emergency landing. And I'm a pilot. I've been a pilot for about 40 years, so I was actually looking out the window and watching what was going on. And I saw these big mountain ridges, and I knew it was snowing, and I didn't like it too much, which is why I was watching the ridges. And all of a sudden, it really went absolutely blind. And I figured, oh, God, you know, that's when I wondered whether the pilot was looking at the ridges, the real pilot, as much as I was. And then we had another chopper behind us, and we kind of found our way down, we found the ground. But during the time we were descending rapidly to see where we were going, there was nothing to fear, because Joe Biden started to give a speech and the helicopter started to go back up. And it all worked out just fine. But there was one scary point during which my entire life passed before my eyes, except for election night 2004. I edited that out. Quick edit job. And then I figured, you know, we had some soldiers who went out, did a perimeter around the chopper, and I wasn't too worried about it. I figured, what the heck, if the Taliban or Al-Qaeda come, the 3 senators will just go out and we'll just talk them to death. So we were pretty safe in the end, and I knew it was going to work out. The amazing thing is that in the 3 minutes between CNN reporting that our chopper was in trouble and down, and then that we were clear, Ed Markey had filed for the United States Senate.